Alright, I guess I'll finish this whatever I'm
Caution. Subterranean particle detonation in the
We should head out.
doing.
You and
Purpose?
Adrian have a big job ahead of you.
ground or remain. Defeated in the event of unforeseen.
That guy looks like he's got a bounty, but he don't.
Crime's at an all-time low around Sidonia. Let's keep it here.
What the crap is going on? Something's exploding. Come on, Vasco. Vasco, we gotta go see what's going on out here. It's so bright. Good Lord, it's bright. I thought I heard explosions, sir. We're going. Gotta go over there. Where's it at? Oh, I thought it was on side mission. This is one of the main missions.
I suggest
I done some of
stowing
them,
any Freestar Collective
and I couldn't
memorabilia
proceed
in
because I
your
couldn't figure
possession
it out. I
out
hope
of
this
sight
ain't one
while
of
we are
them.
here.
Oh, Vasco, we got places to go, buddy.
Over here.
I see you.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon.
Wait,
One-time
what?
fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War. Former head
Who
of the
cloned
UC
you?
Navy. They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated.
Val
in
Venus.
Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. No. They made a pretty grave miscalculation. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard. Keeping the skies safe out there? I'm one of Mast's resource officers. It's my job to... and that any rule... Enjoy your time in New Atlantis.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information. Well, I'll be sure your commanding officer hears that you've done them satisfactorily. Now then, we have 2 petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor. That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention.
Oops.
An incident has occurred.
Now that's a doubt.
Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident. Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. The nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Might take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
There are so many different groups across the several systems, it's hard to keep up with all the work they're doing.
I haven't done this quest yet. What the crap? Who's this guy beating up? Am I supposed to save him? Oh, I froze.
What are you doing? EM fire, Captain!
Wow. Was I not supposed to do that? Well, I guess I was supposed to. Maybe not, I don't know what the crap.
Thank God you got here when you did. I just wish it hadn't come to that.
Yeah, what the hell happened back there, Captain? There's no excuse for using lethal force here.
Uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Or you could have used the EM gun like you were ordered. These are lives you're playing with here. So get your head in the game. Understand?
My bad.
Now,
Demoted.
Officer.
Her whole mood just changed.
the way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We'd tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire. And that we should grab that EM weapon before we head out. Let's do it.
Matt's unlocked. Please.
What the crap did I get this? Where's the EM rifle? Like, which one is it? I don't have one. Is this it? No? Or is it? She was stumbling.
My God, no time to wait. Boots in the dirt.
Am I gonna be alright?
Evacuation order has been issued from the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
Right back up! Don't just stand there!
I turned the set. No, the setting is so easy. I'm gonna turn it back to normal. Dadgummit. It's throwing people all over the place.
Captain! You're going to be okay. Real. Whatever you're experiencing right now is not real.
Screw it. I'm just gonna drop him. I gotta clear him before we got anything.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? We've got the remaining creatures locked down. Yeah, they holding up for it. They said you've done this before.
Peter, leave him. Baby, leave him alone.
Fast. Wait. We'll hold them as best we can.
Alright, here we go. at all the mess out here. Holy crap. I gotta get a thumbnail for this. He should have put his weapon away past this crap.
Universe put the right people in the right place.
Like hell it is. I don't want to think what would have happened if you
Made him think it was a normal day on the job.
Just
Made
glad
him
we could
think
rise
that's
to
what
the
I thought.
occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
And then I melee him by accident.
People. They give everything for this city.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting.
That's a relief to hear. Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right place. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. We're dismissed.
The next time Terramorphs rear their ugly heads, UC is going to be ready.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
It is orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
I didn't want to end the stream, so hang on, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, almost done. Like I said, just didn't want to end the stream. but I didn't want to. I made the upload, but I didn't want to pause the stream and restart it like I always do. I'd rather just upload it with a timestamp.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Huh. All right, we'll start at the beginning. When the Colony War ended, the UC and Freestar Collective came to the agreement some weapons needed to be off limits. Mechs, xeno-warfare. So they gathered up all the relevant research materials and sealed that information away. Terramorph data included. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency and requires a one-time use code from each of the three UC.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince two people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said.
Very funny. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here, though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun? Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval. It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore's his public appearances were always rare. Scans of the facility show
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
I have no doubt.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you. Here. This device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the... And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security.
Captain, would you like to finish? Ah, the good Ambassador Ratcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is... Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her...
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can...
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without...
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. maybe even convinced to work with you. Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's.
Be smart out there, Captain.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
I'll screenshot that for later.
Basic receptor systems. Kids miss you.
Has seen so much.
You are a visitor? You can go on through. You're good. Proceed inside.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room. That means you.
Terrors? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
This building.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
So in here, we're the law.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely... Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain. Let me be frank, Captain. I will not be the one responsible for its release. You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One. I'm listening. I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility. It's possible I might be letting my history cloud my judgment. Possibly. I suppose you might be right. Easy to lose sight of the big picture sometimes. I'm sorry, but acting just because you're afraid doesn't... Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing.
Damn.
You see, it's just gonna have to find...
Star security!
Woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You're... You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. And, like, I've got you to thank. Well, then you... But look, they said you were coming here on... The ambassador likes to him, even if he does have trained diplomats here to... And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City. You were sent for me? Huh, maybe.
Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby.
talk in my office. Not here. Hey, maybe try not to look like you're following me. You have done this before, right? So you want me to work with you? And what exactly would I be doing for the UC? Okay, first you need her bio key, and that thing doesn't leave her side. Better chance of splitting. Okay, the code machine. Only the ambassador. Her quarters. And you and the UC will be... Oh, wait. I thought you were looking to hire. Really? Okay, so there's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters, which you can access through the main conference room. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guard see you entering or exit. I'll keep it.
Hey, you're in a restricted zone.
You're making things harder for yourself.
Captain, hello. It was a...
Agent detected. Patching in playback.
Are you alright, Ambassador?
It seems the Council of Governors has rejected my appeal to join. Again, which means you and I are stuck in this colonial rat cage until we die. But I think we might need to. We should expedite the process.
What are you getting at, ma'am?
I mean, my requests keep being rejected because they don't want to add a seat, right? But what if one opened up? Twice as hard in what it used to be. It's not like anyone would miss him.
Eva, I think it's time to get some sleep.
Just think about it. Maybe we can reach out to some experts at that sort of thing, huh?
Good night, Eva.
Captain, greetings. Yes, Captain.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear, Captain? You're not getting access to the... Excuse me? I have no idea what you're...
Of course you don't. Of course.
No, no. If the council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. I'd be... Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe
I'll do
we
a few
can
minutes of drifting
find a way
before
to
I get
trust
off.
the UC. But where are my manners? Here, my pistol. Laredo. Custom made. Now, with my error rectified, I presume we have a deal? Good. Good. I appreciate you working with me. Just like I'm sure our great powers will. In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy and ensure an air of legitimacy to the whole proceeding. I can only let you get the information on the Terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure everything's being used for the right purposes. But those two items should be enough to allay any suspicions. You won't... You just need some time to consider. I can tell.
To be honest, I didn't even see what she said, because I was clipping it when she gave me the pistol. I don't mean to drop it, but I need this. Don't be overcome. Or I'm trying not to be overcumbered. What the crap? That's crazy.
And there. It's not supposed to be a long process. It is for emergencies, after all. Here you go. I hope that'll be enough to maintain your discretion.
She looks a little creepy, I ain't gonna lie. getting a little quiet. What in the crap am I gonna level up, man? I forgot about the special abilities. I got no skill points. And I gotta upgrade my... Like, how close am I to upgrading? This thing's gonna eat through some ammo. I finally leveled up what I was just talking about. Well, I got man Independence Day when they're looking at the aliens, whatever.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks. And my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss.
Be right back, I gotta take a piss. Excuse me.
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. I take it you didn't have such an experience where you were, then? Yes, the entire embassy was thrown into lockdown, trapping me in my quarters, disabling the Venom tree's filters, and arming the defenses. A disconcerting experience, to say the least. Was the rest of the city spared? Yeah, more time could be spent, and fewer well... Now, it cannot solely be the you were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my... And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the space. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, Do I see this all clearly? The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy, with little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacies. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Oh, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
What the crap is he giving me?
Well, please, follow me.
Bro's lost. This is crazy. I wonder how long he's gonna stay there. I'm definitely clipping this. I guess he'll just do this to the end of times. Oh, he finally got unstuck. Oh my god.
I hope that you are qualified to make use
Maybe that'll help you. Oh, he's hostile now. No, he's not. Yeah, he is. I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes, I guess. But I'll still continue this tomorrow. Hopefully he won't glitch out, but he probably will. Well, I don't know what to do.
Let's hope it still works.
He's unstuck now.
Let it be used for good.
Alright, I'll pick this up tomorrow.